Welcome to Football with Cheese. Happy Saturday. We're going to continue to break down offensive line prospects for the NFL Draft. I've already done 3 so far: Will Campbell, Armand Membou, and Josh Carnley Jr. I'll link Membou and Carnley Jr. in these boxes at the end, so make sure you check those out if you have not. And if you have not subscribed, please do so now. This is all about Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle for Texas. So let's get into it. His strengths. He's pretty good across the board. Good at most things. He's pretty technically sound. He bends well. His combine was good. He was elite at the vertical, so he's got lower body strength. The rest of the drills, he was just good. They were all good, not great, not bad. I thought he'd do a little better. If you watch him on the field, he moves better than his combine. He was still like an 85th percentile athlete, but I thought he'd be more like 93 to 95% athlete. But on the field, production's better. It's a little surprising he didn't do it. I'm not sure, because of the arm length, if he'll be able to play left tackle, although he does have a good wingspan. Of all the players, like Membou, like Carnley Jr. in the last 2 videos, that have 33.5-inch arms, why does everyone have 33.5-inch arms? Why can't you have 35? I think Banks has the best chance to stay at left tackle of those 3, so that could help his draft stock. But I think he's more than likely a right tackle. So weaknesses, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I expected a better workout. So maybe there's a conditioning issue. Maybe he didn't put in the time in the offseason to stay in shape. I'm not saying he did. I just expected more from the combine. He may only fit a zone blocking scheme and not a gap scheme. For those of you who don't know, a zone scheme, basically you're blocking a specific area. The offensive line has to be on the same page. They each block an area, and the running back's job is to find a hole in the zone. In a gap scheme, you're blocking a specific player in a specific gap. When it comes to run blocking, I think he's better in a zone than in a gap. So he might be limited to zone schemes, but most teams do run some kind of zone blocking scheme, so he'll fit most teams. And the biggest problem with Banks, and why going into the season he was expected to be a top 10, maybe top 5 pick, and why he's not, is he doesn't have great hand strength. Too many times when he is beat, it's because the pass rusher can get off his blocks, sometimes fairly easily. He doesn't have that grip strength you need. He's got to get stronger in the upper body, and he's got to get stronger hands. If he can improve that, he could be really good. And that is why he's not a top 10 pick. And that's why he's got some bust potential. Like Josh Carnley Jr., for example, has a higher floor, but Banks has a higher ceiling. But he's got to improve in that area. If he doesn't, he could struggle in the NFL, and he could be a potential bust. So, where will he go? He's all over the place. And what I mean by that, he's 14th on the consensus board. But most of the draft analysts, the ones on TV, don't have him in the top 20. So mock drafts don't have him going where consensus is. The teams that could really use him, where he would fit their scheme, are maybe the 49ers at 11, the Dolphins at 13. But that's too high for him, in my opinion. He's not the 13th best player in this draft. He might be the 20th best player. So I think the Dolphins, it would be a reach, and maybe that's why mock drafts he's not top 20, because after pick 13, the Dolphins, there might not be another team that drafts an offensive lineman until 25. I could see the Texans doing it, obviously, and that's a big drop-off. So that is why I think he's not in the top 20 in most mocks. I could see maybe this scenario, maybe the Dolphins trade down. The Seahawks pick at 18. They have an extra pick with Geno Smith, another pick with DK Metcalf, so they have draft capital to move up. Maybe Tedder McMillan is there at 13. The Seahawks could use an outside receiver after trading DK Metcalf. And maybe they offer a 3rd and a 6th, and the Dolphins move down to 18, and Kelvin Banks probably will still be there. Dolphins could upgrade most of the positions on their offensive line. It's just a weak group. And they can move down, still get Banks, and add some draft capital. All right, so where do you think Banks should go? Do you think he should be top 20, or do you think he's a late round pick like a lot of the mocks are suggesting? Like this video. Likes help so much. Subscribe if you have not. Turn that bell for notifications so you never miss a video. I think the next one I'm going to do is Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. Real interesting prospect, had a great Senior Bowl. Share this video with anyone who loves football so we can grow the channel. Check these prospect breakdowns out if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one.